My name is Finn Whitaker, and if there's one truth etched into the chalk-dusted bleachers of Willow Ridge, Texas, it's that gravity has it out for me. Not the gentle pull of stars aligning or hearts sinking, but the mean-spirited yank that turns every step into a potential disaster. I'd been cheering for the Ridge Runners since freshman year, not because I had rhythm or grace, God no, but because my mom swore it built character and my dad, bless his oil rig calluses, figured it kept me out of trouble. Trouble like the kind that simmers in a small town where pickup trucks rumble past faded diners and everyone knows your business before you do. That night in October, with the air thick as molasses from the portable heaters fighting off the Texas chill creeping through the gym's cracked windows, we'd just wrapped our halftime pyramid. The crowd was electric, a sea of denim jackets and foam fingers waving under the banners that screamed state championship dreams. Hunter was already a legend at 18, 6'3" of lean muscle and quiet intensity, the point guard who could thread a needle with a basketball from half-court. His dark hair stuck to his forehead in sweat-slick waves, and when he wasn't dismantling defenses, he had this way of scanning the sidelines like he was mapping escape routes from his own life. I didn't mean to fall. The routine called for a simple Liberty stunt. Leg up, pom-poms high, smile like you're selling sunshine. But my ankle twisted on the mat, the kind of wobble that starts in your gut and ends in freefall. Time slowed, the cheers turning to a distant roar, and then bam, his arms were there. Solid, warm, wrapping around my waist like they'd been forged for this moment. My pom-poms fluttered to the floor in a pathetic puff of glitter, and for 3 heartbeats, the world narrowed to the scent of his skin. Salt and cedar, with a hint of the leather from his game jersey. "You good, Whitaker?" His voice was low, gravel rough from calling plays, but there was no mockery in it, just concern, laced with something that made my stomach flip harder than the fall. I nodded too fast, cheeks burning hotter than the court lights. Yeah, just testing gravity. It's a real bitch tonight." He chuckled, a sound like thunder rolling soft over plains, and set me down gentle as if I were made of spun glass. The other cheerleaders, Kayla with her perfect flips, and Brody, who swore he was straight but eyed the football team like dessert, stifled laughs behind manicured hands. Coach Harlan barked from the bench, "Pick it up, Finn! We ain't running a circus." But Hunter shot him a look that could curdle milk, and even the coach backed off. As the second half tipped off, I retreated to the sidelines, heart pounding not from the stunt, but from the ghost of his touch lingering on my ribs. Willow Ridge wasn't the kind of place that forgave differences easily. We'd had our share of whispers, the gay kid in art class who transferred after junior year, the rainbow sticker peeled off someone's locker like it was contraband. I wasn't out, not to anyone but my reflection in the bathroom mirror on those nights when the house creaked empty and doubt clawed at my chest. Cheering was my camouflage. Loud, bright, a way to blend into the spectacle without anyone looking too close. Hunter sank a 3-pointer before the buzzer, the gym erupting as if he'd just split the Red Sea. Our eyes met across the chaos. He in victory, me in the shadows, and for a split second, I wondered if he felt it too. That pull, invisible as wind but fierce as a twister. Practice the next week was hell. Coach had us running drills till my calves screamed, and I spent half the time dodging Brodus elbow jabs about my signature move. "Finn's got a new boyfriend," head tease, winking at Kayla, who rolled her eyes but giggled anyway. They didn't know. How could they? I barely admitted it to myself, this ache that bloomed whenever Hunter jogged past, his laughter cutting through the thud of sneakers like sunlight through storm clouds. It happened again on Thursday. We'd stayed late for extra stunts, the gym echoing empty except for the squeak of our shoes and the distant hum of the janitor's vacuum. I was spotting for Kayla's basket toss, my hands steady for once, when the mat shifted underfoot, loose edge from years of wear, and down I went, tumbling backward into oblivion. Except oblivion had arms again. Hunter, who'd been shooting free throws at the far hoop, materialized like some athletic apparition, catching me bridal style before my skull met the floor. "Jesus, Finn, you trying to give me a workout?" He grinned, but his grip tightened just a fraction, enough to send heat racing up my spine. I laughed it off, scrambling upright, but my voice cracked like dry earth. What can I say? I'm a hazard. You should get hazard pay for this. His eyes held mine, gray as gathering rain, and in that suspended breath, the gym felt smaller, the air charged. Nah, kinda like catching you. Keeps things interestin'. The words hung there, innocent on the surface but laced with undercurrents that made my pulse stutter. He let go slow like he didn't want to, and jogged back to his ball, leaving me adrift in the wake of what-ifs. That weekend, Willow Ridge threw its annual harvest hoedown at the old fairgrounds, strung with fairy lights and hay bales that scratched like accusations. Mom dragged me along, her arm looped through mine as she chatted with Mrs. Kane, Hunter's mom, a wiry woman with laugh lines deep as canyons from years waitressing at the diner. Finn's our little klutz, she said proudly, squeezing my shoulder. But he's got heart. More than most. Hunter was there, cornered by a gaggle of admirers, girls in sundresses, guys slapping his back about last game's buzzer beater. He looked uncomfortable in the button-down his mom had ironed, sleeves rolled to show forearms corded from endless drills. Our eyes locked over the crowd, and he excused himself, weaving through like he was dodging defenders. Dance? He asked, extending a hand. No preamble, just that easy confidence that made my knees weak. I stared at his palm, calloused and sure. Me? They'll probably step on your toes. Or fall flat. Promise I'll catch you. His smile was crooked, disarming. The band struck up a slow two-step, and the floor was a whirl of boots and laughter. Hunter led with a gentleness that belied his on-court ferocity, his hand warm at the small of my back. We moved in fits and starts, me stumbling into him more than once, him steadying with a murmured easy now. But each brush of skin felt like a confession. The song faded, but we lingered, breaths mingling in the space between. You're not so clumsy when it counts, he said softly, thumb tracing a idle circle on my shirt. My throat tightened. Only 'cause you're there. The words slipped out, raw and unintended, and his gaze sharpened, searching. Before he could respond, Brody hollered from the sidelines, Whitaker, get over here, shots waitin', and the moment shattered like dropped glass. But as I walked away, Hunter's voice followed, quiet enough for only me. We ain't done talkin', Finn. Monday brought rain, the kind that turns red dirt roads to rivers and seeps into your bones. School buzzed with post-hoedown gossip, who kissed who under the oaks, whose dad got too deep into the whiskey. I kept my head down, notebook doodled with absent loops that looked suspiciously like H's. Lunch found me at our usual table, Kayla prattling about homecoming dresses while Brody eyed the cheer squad like fresh meat. Hunter dropped his tray across from me, uninvited but welcome as dawn. Mind if I crash? Brody snorted. Kane slumming it with the pom-pom brigade? What's next, you joinin' us for splits? Hunter ignored him, peeling an orange with deliberate focus. Heard about the scout comin' next game. Big leagues sniffin' around. The table lit up. Kayla squealing about fame, Brody pounding fists, but I saw the flicker in Hunter's eyes, the weight behind the grin. Pressure from coach, from his dad who coached Pee Wee leagues and dreamed vicariously, from a town that pinned its hopes on his jump shot. Congrats, I said, meaning it. You deserve it. His foot nudged mine under the table, accidental on purpose. Couldn't do it without good luck charms. Heat flooded my face, and I ducked my head, pretending to hunt for my sandwich. The bell rang too soon, scattering us like leaves, but that nudge lingered, a secret tether. Weeks blurred into a rhythm of falls and catches, each one peeling back layers. During a water break at joint practice, I slipped on spilled Gatorade, and Hunter hauled me up by the elbow, his whisper hot against my ear. You're gonna kill me one day, Whitaker. But his smile said head die happy. Then came the night of the rivalry game against Dust Bowl High. The gym was a furnace of anticipation, bleachers sagging under families who'd driven hours through dust storms. We cheerleaders flanked the court, our routines sharper now, my stumbles fewer under the pressure. Hunter dominated, weaving through blockers like smoke, but midway through the third quarter, he took an elbow to the ribs, hard, intentional from Dust Bowl center, a brute named Jax who played dirty as sin. He hit the floor, curling in on himself, and the ref swallowed his whistle. I was off the sidelines before I thought, dropping to my knees beside him as trainers swarmed. "Hunter? Hey, talk to me." His face was ashen, breath ragged, but he gripped my hand under the chaos. "Stay, please." Coach pulled him to the bench, ice packs blooming blue on his side, and we lost by 5. The locker room aftermath was grim. Slammed doors, curses echoing. But Hunter slipped out early, finding me by the vending machines humming like judgmental ants. "Thanks for that," he said, leaning against the wall, bruised but unbroken. Felt like I was drowning back there. I wanted to trace the purple blooming on his cheek, to erase the pain with words I wasn't brave enough for. Instead, "Anytime. You're kinda my anchor too." He stepped closer, the space between us electric, shrinking. His hand lifted, hesitating at my jaw, and for one breathless instant, I hoped he'd close the gap. But voices echoed down the hall, and he dropped his hand, jaw tight. "Not here," he murmured. "Not yet." The yet hung like a promise, sweet and terrifying, as rain lashed the windows outside. Willow Ridge slept under storm skies, but inside me, something awakened, fragile as a sprout pushing through cracked earth. November crept in with a vengeance, frosting the pumpkin patches and turning the air sharp enough to cut. Homecoming loomed like a coronation for the straight and narrow, all taffeta gowns and rented tuxes under the football field's floodlights. I spent evenings in my room, mirror propped against the wall as I practiced smiles that didn't reach my eyes, pom-poms discarded in a glittery heap. Mom noticed, of course, her intuition sharper than Dad's pocket knife. "You okay, baby? Look like you got the weight of the world on those shoulders." "Just nerves," I lied, folding laundry to avoid her gaze. Dad grunted from the couch, eyes glued to ESPN highlights featuring some hotshot from UCLA. "Boy's fine, Ellen. Let him breathe." But breathing felt optional lately, stolen in glances at Hunter across crowded halls. Head recovered from the elbow, ribs taped under his jersey, but the hit lingered in the way he favored his left side during drills. Coach pushed harder, barking plays like war cries, and the team fractured under the strain. Arguments flaring over missed passes, Brody trash-talking from the cheer side like he owned the court. It happened again during Friday's pep rally. The gym throbbed with bass from the sound system, students stomping rhythms that shook the rafters. We were mid-chant. Runners run, opponents fall, when the human pyramid teetered. Kayla at the base shouted warning, but I was too high, too exposed, and the whole thing buckled like a house of cards. I plummeted, a tangle of limbs and fear, straight into the crowd below. Hunter surged from the basketball huddle, arms outstretched, catching me midair with a grunt that echoed my own shock. We hit the floor together, a heap of tangled jerseys and pounding hearts, the rally dissolving into gasps and scattered applause. His body shielded mine, warm and unyielding, face inches away, breath mingling hot and fast. "Gotcha," he whispered, lips brushing my temple accidental as sin. The principal droned over the mic about safety, but I heard nothing past the roar in my ears. Coach Harlan hauled us up, muttering about lawsuits, but Hunter kept a hand at my elbow, steadying long after we stood. "You're a magnet for trouble, Finn. Trouble finds me." I shot back, voice steadier than I felt. "Or maybe it's you, always in the right spot." His eyes darkened, that storm gray swirling. "Maybe I like being there." The rally ended in chaos, but later, as cleanup crews swept confetti, Hunter cornered me by the bleachers. "Ride home?" My truck's parked out back. Rain's coming down, cats and dogs. I hesitated. Mom expected me at Kalis for sleepover prep, but the pull was stronger than common sense. Yeah, okay. His F-150 was a relic, dense from dirt road joyrides, cab smelling of fast food and faded cologne. We drove in silence at first, wipers slapping rhythm against the downpour, headlights carving tunnels through the night. Willow Ridge blurred past. The neon glow of the drive-through, skeletal oaks clawing at the sky. You ever feel like you're playing a part? He asked suddenly, fingers tight on the wheel. Like everyone's watching, waiting for you to slip? All the time. Yeah, Cheerin helps, or hurts, depends on the day. He pulled over at the old mill pond, engine idling as rain drummed the roof. Basketball's my out. Scout from A&M was at the game. Said I got potential. But he trailed off, staring at the water black as ink. Dad's counting on it. Scholarship, escape this dust bowl. But what if it's not enough? I shifted, knee brushing his. It's more than enough. You're more. His head snapped to mine, surprise melting into something raw, unguarded. Finn, Headlights pierced the dark, a truck rumbling past, and the moment froze. He exhaled slow, restarting the engine. Another time. He dropped me 2 blocks from home, headlights off to avoid questions. Night, Whitaker. Dream of falls you don't have to take. I watched his taillights fade, chest aching with the unsaid. Homecoming night arrived swathed in velvet darkness. The field transformed with twinkling strings and a bonfire crackling defiance against the cold. I stood with the squad in our crisp uniforms. Mine starched stiff, hiding the tremor in my hands. Hunter was king, naturally, crowned by screams and confetti. His date a polite arm candy named Sarah from debate club, all sharp wit and safer edges. The crowning ceremony dragged, crowns glinting under lights as the band played Sweet Caroline. Then the dance, bodies swaying in pairs that mimicked normalcy. I partnered with Kayla, her laughter a lifeline as we twirled, but my eyes tracked Hunter across the grass, his shoulders tense under the spotlight. Disaster struck during the group photo op. The squad lined up for a cheer pyramid on the sidelines, me at the precarious top again. Coach's idea of redemption. Wind gusted, skirts flaring, and the bass wobbled. Down I went, a graceless arrow aimed at the crowd. Hunter broke from his circle, shoving Sarah's clutch aside to intercept, his body a barrier as we tumbled into the damp turf. Laughter rippled, good-natured at first, but Sarah's face soured, arms crossed. Really, Hunter? Again? He helped me up, ignoring her, grass stains blooming on his slacks. You okay? Beyond saving, I muttered, brushing dirt from my knees. The photographer snapped away, capturing the mess for the yearbook. Hero and hazard, eternally linked. Post-dance, the bonfire drew stragglers, flames licking logs as stories flowed with smuggled beers. I nursed a soda by the edge, away from Brodus' roving eyes, when Hunter appeared, 2 red cups in hand. Spiked cider. Don't tell Coach. We sat on a hay bale, firelight dancing shadows across his face, highlighting the bruise from last week's scrimmage. Sarah's pissed, he admitted, sipping deep. Thinks you're after my attention. My heart stuttered. Am I that obvious? He set his cup down, turning full to me. Only to me. His voice dropped, confessional. Finn, this thing, us catching each other, is not just luck. I see you. The way you light up the gym even when you're falling apart. Makes me want to be better, braver. The words unlocked something in me, a floodgate. Hunter, I'm gay. And I think I've been fallin' for you since that first crash. Silence stretched, taut as a strung bow. Then he leaned in, forehead to mine, breath warm. Took you long enough to say it. 'Cause I'm right there with you. Our lips met tentative, tasting of cider and courage, the world narrowing to the press of him, soft, urgent, home. Fire crackled approval, but distant cheers reminded us of eyes everywhere. We pulled apart, flushed, alive. "Secret for now," he whispered, hands squeezing mine. "But not forever." The drive home was charged, hands brushing gears, promises humming unspoken. Mom was asleep when I slipped in, but sleep evaded me, body buzzing with the memory of his mouth. Monday brought the crash. Rumors slithered through halls like smoke. Someone saw us at the bonfire, lips too close, hands too linked. Whispers turned to stares, Brody cornering me in the bathroom. "Whitaker, you and Kane. For real? Man straight as an arrow. You're dreamin'. Back off," I snapped, but doubt seeded. Hunter avoided my eyes in the gym, coach riding him hard about focus. After practice, he pulled me into the equipment room, door clicking shut. "Ignore it. They don't know shit." But his kiss was fierce, desperate, like staving off storm. "My dad's hearing things. Thinks it's a distraction." We clung there, amid the scent of rubber mats and old sweat, until his phone buzzed. Jax from the team, voice tinny. "Kane, get out here. Trouble." We emerged to find Broda's truck idling by the curb, him and two football guys lounging against it. "Just checking on our star," Brody called, grin sly, but his eyes on me were knives. Hunter stiffened. "We're good. Night." As he drove off, Broda's voice followed. "Watch your step, Finn. Falls like yours break more than bones." The warning lodged in my gut, cold as winter wind. That night, alone with my thoughts, I traced the shape of Hunter's name on my window, fogged from my breath. Love felt like flying, exhilarating, terrifying, with no net below. Thanksgiving break loomed, a brief reprieve of turkey and tension. Families gathered in Willow Ridge, tables groaning under casseroles and unspoken expectations. Hunter's invite came via text. "Dinner at my place? Mom's making pie." I showed up with a store-bought apple, nerves jangling like loose change. The Kane house was modest, siding weathered but welcoming, porch swing creaking in the breeze. Mrs. Kane enveloped me in a hug scented with vanilla, her eyes kind but keen. "Heard you keep our boy on his toes. Good. He needs that." Mr. Kane was quieter, a bear of a man with grease under his nails from the auto shop, grunts substituting for words. Dinner unfolded civil, talk of games, weather, the scouts' email praising Hunter's tape. But under the table, Hunter's knee pressed mine, a silent anchor. After, as dishes clattered, he led me to the back porch, stars pricking the velvet sky. "Dad's pushin' college hard. Says it's my ticket out." "And you?" I asked, breath clouding. "Wanna take you with me?" His hand found mine, fingers lacing. "Wherever." We kissed slow under the awning, world distant, until the screen door banged. Mr. Kane, silhouette stern. "Hunter." Inside. "Now." He went, casting me an apology over his shoulder. I walked home under street lamps, heart full but fracturing, sensing the storm clouds gathering. December draped Willow Ridge in brittle frost, Christmas lights twinkling defiant against the gray. The gym became our sanctuary, practices stretching late as the team chased redemption after a string of losses. Jax's dirty plays had rattled us, fractures widening, arguments in huddles, missed shots born of doubt. Hunter bore the brunt, his jump shot faltering under the weight of expectations, scouts' notes turning curt in emails. I threw myself into routines, flips sharper, voice louder, but clumsiness lurked like a shadow. It struck during a holiday scrimmage, the gym decked in tinsel that caught the lights like false joy. We were performing a festive pyramid, red and green pom-poms waving, when the top tier buckled under a sneeze-timed wobble. I sailed backward, arms windmilling, into the fray of basketball warm-ups. Hunter pivoted from a layup, snatching me mid-tumble, bodies colliding in a graceless spin that ended with us sprawled against the padded wall. Laughter erupted from the team, but his arms stayed locked around me, protective, possessive. "You're gonna be the death of me," he murmured, lips at my ear, voice husky with exertion and something deeper. The coach blew his whistle, scattering us, but Hunter's touch lingered, a brand on my skin. Later, in the steamy locker room haze, showers hissing, voices muffled, I caught him watching me change, towel slung low, eyes tracing paths that made my blood hum. "Stop starin'," I teased, shrugging into my hoodie. "You'll get us caught." "Worth it?" he shot back, grin wolfish. But the whispers had grown teeth. At lunch, Kayla pulled me aside, face pinched. "Finn, people are talkin'. Brody says he saw you too. Close. At the bonfire." My stomach nodded. "It's not. Don't lie to me." Her hand gripped my arm, soft but firm. "I don't care who you love. Just be careful. This town eats its own." Her warning echoed as I navigated halls slick with melting slush tracked in from boots. Hunter texted late. "Meet at the pond? Need you." The mill pond was frozen at the edges, moonlight silvering the ice like fractured glass. He waited on the dock, bundled in a wool coat that swallowed him, hands shoved deep in pockets. When I approached, he pulled me close, burying his face in my neck. "Rough day. Dad found the scout's email. Blew up. Says I'm throwing it away on distractions." I held him, feeling the tremor he hid from the world. "You're not. You're human, Hunter. That's enough." We sank to the weathered boards, backs against the piling, stars wheeling overhead. His kisses started soft, apologies in every brush, then deepened, hands roaming urgent under layers, chasing warmth against the cold. "Love you," he gasped against my collarbone, words breaking free like birds from cages. "Didn't know I could feel this. Real." I echoed it back, body arching into his, the pond a silent witness to our unraveling. We didn't go further. Not there, not yet. But the promise thrummed, binding us tighter than fear could sever. Christmas Eve brought forced cheer. Mom's turkey drying under tea towels, Dad's snores rumbling from the recliner post-sermon. I slipped out after midnight mass, the church bells tolling like heartbeats, to Hunter's window. Head left it cracked, ladder of stacked crates waiting. Inside, his room was a time capsule. Posters of Jordan and Curry peeling at edges, basketballs scarred from backyard wars stacked in corners. He pulled me onto his bed, quilts soft under us, fairy lights from the eaves casting gold flecks in his eyes. "Best gift," he whispered, unwrapping me slow, layers falling away like inhibitions. Our bodies moved tentative, exploratory, learning curves and hollows by touch and taste. It was messy, fervent, laughter mingling with gasps when elbows knocked lamps, but sacred in its newness, a claiming that chased shadows from our skins. After, tangled in sheets damp with sweat, he traced patterns on my chest. "Wanna run away. After graduation. California, maybe. Beaches, no stairs. ID follow." I murmured, sleep heavy. "Anywhere." Morning brought reality crashing. Mrs. Kane's knock, calling him for ham. I fled giggling, heart soaring. But January's chill carried barbs. The team won a nail-biter against Plainsview, Hunter's 40 points silencing doubters, but victory soured in the locker room. Jax cornered him by the sinks, voice low venom. "Heard you're soft, Kane. Messin' with that cheer fag. Scouts'll love that." Hunter's fist clenched, but he walked away, jaw granite. He found me outside, snow flurrying soft. Ignore him. He's full of shit. Yet the seed festered. Practices grew tense, Jax's elbows sharper, glances lingering. Brody watched too, his easy jabs turning edged. Careful, Finn. Playing with fire. Valentine's approached, Willow Ridge decked in pinks and reds that mocked our secrecy. Hunter planned a surprise. A drive to the canyon overlooks, thermos of cocoa, blanket spread on hood under diamond skies. We talked futures. Me dreaming art school in Austin, sketches of faces and falls filling my journals. Him eyeing community college ball, a step before the leap. "It'll come out," he vowed, nuzzling my jaw. After playoffs. Show him who I am. I believed him, lost in the heat of his mouth, hands mapping territories we'd claimed. But betrayal brewed closer than stars. It broke on a Tuesday, rain lashing like judgment. ID stayed late sketching in the art room, charcoal smudging Hunter's profile from memory. When my phone buzzed, Hunter's text, "Meet Jim. Urgent." The door creaked open to dimness, emergency lights casting eerie glows. Voices echoed, Jax, Brody, others laughter cruel as knives. I froze in shadow, heart plummeting. Kane's been sneakin' with Whitaker. Caught M kissin' by the pond. Pathetic. Jax's drawl, thick with glee. Brody chuckled, but it rang hollow. Y'all are dicks. Let it go. Nah. Stars gotta shine straight. Well, handle it. My blood iced. Betrayal? No Brody defending? But the plan unfolded. Spread rumors? Tank Hunter's focus. Force a choice. I slipped out unseen, chest heaving, tears hot on cheeks. How long had they known? Watched. I confronted Brody next day in the parking lot, gravel crunching under tires. You knew. Why didn't you warn me? He leaned against his truck, cigarette dangling unlit. Warn you? Finn, you're my boy. But Hunter's. He's got everything. You'd ruin him. Ruin? Rage boiled. Love ain't ruin, Brody. It's Savon. He sighed, flicking the cig away. Just protectin'. But if it blows, don't say I didn't try. The fracture deepened. Hunter noticed my distance, cornering me after Kim. What's wrong? You're pullin' away. I spilled it in whispers by lockers, his face storming. Those bastards. They'll kill M. No. I gripped his sleeve. Playoffs first. Prove you're unbreakable. He nodded, but fury simmered. That night, alone, I sketched fractured hearts, pencil snapping in grip. Love demanded sacrifice, who would pay? Playoffs dawned crisp, bracket fever gripping town. First round versus Canyon Creek, gym packed to rafters, air electric with chance. We cheerleaders flanked baselines, my stunts flawless from sheer will, but eyes darted to Jax, smirking beside Hunter. Game tipped frantic, scores knotted at halves. Third quarter, Hunter drove baseline, Jax undercut vicious, knee to thigh, sending him sprawling. Whistle blew technical, but damage stuck. Hunter limped, fire dimmed. Halftime, I slipped him water in tunnel, hands shaking. You got this. They can't touch us. His kiss was brief, fierce. For you. He returned a lion, sinking clutch threes, but fouls mounted, Jax baiting, refs blind. Final buzzer. We won by 2, but victory tasted ash. Locker room exploded recriminations, Jax shoving Hunter. Soft, man. All cause of your little bitch. Hunter swung, fist connecting, jaw cracking, chaos erupting. Coach dragged them apart, suspensions looming. I watched from door, horror rooting me. Betrayal had teeth and it bit deep. That night, Hunter called, voice wrecked. Suspended for regionals. It's over. No. I drove to him, finding porch light on, him pacing like caged wolf. We collapsed on swing, his head in lap, tears silent on flannel. They took it. Everything. Not everything. I stroked his hair. You got me. Well, rebuild. But dawn brought colder truth. Rumors viral now, texts buzzing, slut-shaming, slurs scrawled on lockers. Willow Ridge turned, eyes averted, whispers weaponized. February's thaw teased mercy. Mud puddles mirroring skies heavy with unshed rain. Suspension sidelined Hunter. Bench exile, a public shaming that rippled through Willow Ridge like oil in water. Coach Harlan issued a statement. Team unity, no distractions. But subtext screamed, Hunter's fault, our curse. Practices ground on without him, Jim hollow, my cheers mechanical echoes. I navigated minefields daily. Notes stuffed in locker. Fairy Finn, stay away. Ripped before mom saw. Kayla rallied, dragging me to coffee at the diner. Her pep talks laced with worry. They're scared, Finn, of what you represent. Change. Change. I scoffed, stirring sugar into sludge. Just love. Mrs. Kane called one evening, voice crackling over line like dry leaves. Come over, hon. He's hurtin' bad. The Kane living room smelled of liniment and loss. Hunter sprawled on couch, ice pack blooming on knee. Mr. Kane lurked in kitchen, grunts his only greeting. But Mrs. Kane pressed pie into my hands. Warm, flaky, maternal armor. Upstairs, his room felt smaller, posters mocking unfulfilled dreams. He pulled me down beside him, body feverish under blankets. Lost it all. For us. No. I cupped his face, thumbs brushing stubble. Gain truth. That's power. We made love slow, deliberate, reclaiming agency in touches that mapped scars, inside and out. His gasps were prayers, my whispers vows, bodies sinking like halftime rhythms long denied. After, sated and spent, he traced my ribs. Marry me someday, when we're free. Laughter bubbled, light in dark. Deal. But I get veto on tuxes. School fractured further. Jack strutted halls like Victor, team orbiting him in uneasy allegiance. Brody avoided my gaze, guilt etching lines premature on his face. One lunch, he slid into seat opposite, tray untouched. I tried stopping him. Finn, swear. But Jack's. He's got dirt on half the team. Blackmail shit from parties. Pity softened my anger. Why protect him? 'Cause he's my brother. Half. Same dad, different moms. Family's messy. I nodded, walls cracking. Fix it, Brody, or lose us all. He left with a nod, resolve flickering. Hunter threw into rehab. Physical therapy in Lubbock, drives twice weekly through flatlands that stretched endless. I tagged along once, holding his hand in waiting rooms sterile as judgments, watching him grit through exercises that rebuilt muscle and will. Scouts called. He admitted on return, truck humming homeward. Pulled interest. Say I'm high risk now. Fuck em. Fury hot. You're gold. Find a coach who sees it. He squeezed my thigh, eyes on road. With you believin'? I will. Spring stirrings brought tentative hope. Daffodils pushing through frost-killed grass, playoff fever shifting to track meets and proms. But shadows lengthened. Jacks escalated. Slash on my tire one dawn. Found flat in driveway. Mom's gasp echoing as Dad cursed mechanics. Hunter confronted him post-track, parking lot emptying under sodium lamps. I watched from shadows, heart hammering. Back off, man. It's done. Jack sneered, cronies flanking. Done? You tanked us. For that. Fist flew, Hunter's, connecting nose crunching. Jack's reeled, blood blooming, but numbers turned. Punches landed. Rib cracking on Hunter, elbow to gut, until Brody surged from nowhere, shoving allies apart. Enough! You're killing the team, Jax. And yourself. Sirens wailed distant, scattering them. I rushed to Hunter, cuts shallow but spirit bruised. Hospital. Nah. Home. In his bathroom, antiseptic stinging, he gripped sink white-knuckled. He's poison. Always was. We patched in silence, my hands steady on his. Brody saved you. Trusts us now. Maybe. Weariness heavy. But trusts break easy. Prom loomed, Willow Ridge High's pinnacle of pretense. Limos, corsages, dances scripted for straight lines. Hunter rented a suit ill-fitting over healing frame, me in thrift store tux that hung loose on angles. We went stag official, arms linked defiant through doors festooned in streamers. The gym transformed. Disco ball spinning rainbows ironic as fate, tables groaning punch and cookies. We danced close, his hand low on back, world blurring to bass thumps. Whispers swirled, but eyes averted. Kayla glaring daggers at gawkers, Brody nodding from punch bowl, a silent guard. Mid-song, Jax crashed the floor, date in tow, breath sour with beer. Cute, Kane. Playin' house with the klutz. Hunter tensed, but I stepped forward, voice steel. Walk away, Jax. Night's ours. Laughter cruel, but Brody materialized, arm barring. She's right. Out. Jax lunged, fist aimed at me, but Hunter intercepted, shove sending him stumbling into speakers. Music warped, feedback screeching, chaperones swarming. Security hauled Jax, from dissolving in murmurs, but we stood unbroken, breaths synced. Outside, under parking lot stars, Hunter kissed me fierce. Proud of you, my hero. We drove to Canyon, tuxes rumpled, laughing at the absurdity. Love as battlefield. There, on blanket under vastness, we surrendered fully. Bodies urgent, unhurried, etching promises in sweat-slick skin. Dawn found us tangled, future whispering soft. But betrayal's echo lingered. Days later, Coach called Hunter in, Jax's dad, a school board heavy, pressing charges for the fight. Assault, they claimed, twisting from chaos. Hearing set for week, town's pulse quickening with scandal. Hunter's dad exploded that night, voice booming through walls as I hid in truck. You shamed us. For what, a boy? Ruined your shot. Mrs. Kane defended quiet. He's our son, Tom. Love him. All of him. I drove Hunter to pond after silence companion. What now? Fight, he said, chin lifted. For us. Hearing day dawned muggy, courthouse squat and stale. We sat front row, hands clasped under bench, me, Hunter, Broda's family as character witnesses. Jax's side spun tales. Aggression, disruption, Hunter's lifestyle as catalyst. But Brody testified steady. Jax started it. Always does. Hunter's the glue, not the break. Kayla followed, voice clear. Finn's heart, Hunter's strength. They make us better. Judge, a silver-haired woman with eyes like polished stones, ruled dropped charges, warning both sides on vendettas. Outside, sun-breaking clouds, Hunter hugged Brody fierce. Brother. Fam, Brody mumbled, clapping back. Sorry for the mess. Forgiveness bloomed tentative, fractures mending slow. Graduation neared, caps and gowns a blur of futures uncertain. Hunter landed tryout invite, junior college in San Antonio, Coach Hood scouted pre-drama. They want heart, email read. You got it. I applied Austin Community, art program accepting sketches of falls turned flights. Well commute, he planned over diner fries. Weekends ours. But climax brewed in final game. Non-playoff exhibition, town fundraiser against alumni. Gym packed, old glories versus new blood. Hunter started, jersey crisp, knee braced. Jax benched, expelled whispers but spirit haunted in teammates' hesitations. Halftime tied, tension thick. Our routine peaked. Full extension liberty. Me soaring base to apex. Wind from fans gusted, mat slippery, and apex crumbled, me plummeting from height, scream silent in throat. Hunter leaped from bench, impossible distance, arms cradling my fall like destiny scripted. We hit soft, crowd gasping then roaring, his hold unyielding. Told you, always catch you. Game resumed electric, Hunter channeling fury into fury. Dunks thundering, assists surgical. Final score, 82-79, victory sweet as absolution. Confetti rained, but our kiss, stolen courtside, cameras flashing, stole breath, out finally under lights that forgave. Town murmured, but shifted. Applause tentative, then swelling. Mrs. Kane teared at podium, Dad's nod grudging but there. Freedom tasted like sweat and sequins, identity etched in cheers. Summer beckoned, roads unfurling west. We packed Hunter's truck, sketches, sneakers, dreams dog-eared. Last night in Willow Ridge, porch swing creaking, I leaned into him. Falls led here. To you, he murmured. Worth every bruise. June unfurled lazy in Willow Ridge, heat waves shimmering off asphalt like mirages of escape. Graduation diplomas yellowed in drawers, but real rights pulsed in partings. Barbecues laced with toasts to bright futures. suitcases thumping into trunks bound for colleges coastal and concrete. Hunter and I stole moments in the hush. Dawn runs along creek beds dry as bones, where we'd race till lungs burned clean. Midnight drives to the canyon, radio crooning ballads that mirrored our mess. San Antonio tryouts loomed mid-month, a crucible Hunter prepped for with solitary drills in the high school lot, hoop chains rattling ghosts of glory. ID watch from bleachers splintered, sketching his form. Arc of jump shot, grace and glide, charcoal blurring sweat-slick skin. You'll kill it, ID say post-layup, handing water chilled from cooler. Doubt it without my charm, head tease, pulling me close for kisses tasting salt and certainty. But undercurrents stirred. Jax vanished. Rumors of juvie stint for priors unearthed. But his venom lingered in sideways glances at the gas station. Murmurs over counter at the diner. Mr. Kane thawed slow. Grunts evolving to questions about that art thing over breakfast's awkward. Draw something useful, boy. Like blueprints. Mrs. Kane buffered. Her pies portals to acceptance. He's talented, Tom. Like Hunter with that ball. My parents navigated choppier. Mom's hugs lingered, eyes wet with pride and fear. Dad's silences spoke volumes, truck keys jingling as he paced porches. One evening, post-supper, he cornered me in garage, oil can sentinel. This Kane boy. Serious. Yeah, Dad. Real as rain. He nodded once, hand heavy on shoulder. Protect each other. World's rough. The words, simple, seismic. Unlocked tears, I blinked back. Progress, prickly as thistle. Tryout week arrived sweltering. Hunter departing at dawn in borrowed sedan. Gear bag stuffed hopeful. I drove him to highway edge where flatlands met sky endless. Call every night, I demanded, kissing fierce through window. Every hour, he promised, grin crooked. Love you, klutz. San Antonio sprawled vibrant, a pulse foreign to our Dust Bowl drawl. He texted updates. Drills grueling, coach grizzled but fair. Sees the fire, Finn. Says him raw but redeemable. Nights, wed video, his dorm stark behind him, voice crackling with fatigue and fire. Miss your falls. Keeps me sharp. I laughed, but ache gnawed. Willow Ridge emptier without his shadow. Shifts at the feed store monotonous. Sketches piling unfinished. Kayla visited. Sprawled on my bed with gossip glossy. Brody enlisted. Marines. Says hell right, but you know him. Chases trouble. Like us? I quipped, but worry wormed. Betrayal scar itched. Reminder of fractures fragile. Mid-tryouts, crisis cracked. Hunter's call at 2 a.m. Voice hollow. Knee buckled. Tore something minor, but coach. Benched me indefinite. Again. Heart plummeted. Come home. We fix it. Can't. Gotta push. Steel in tone but brittle. For us. I drove to San Antonio next dawn. For hours blurring in rearview tears. Campus thrummed indifferent. Students lounging lawns lush. Laughter light as if hearts didn't hemorrhage. Found him in trainer's office, ice elevating leg. Face gaunt. Escapee, he murmured, managing smile. We talked circuits. Options. Rehab local, transfer dreams deferred. Coach entered. Mustache twitching sympathy. Kid's got talent, but Bodus gotta heal. Rest up, Kane. Outside, under live oak's draping shade, we broke. Him sobbing into my shirt. Me holding fierce. Not over. Just paused. He nodded, breath hitching. Promise well paused together. We extended stay. Motel room cheap with AC rattling like judgments. Days blurred healing. Walks slow on trails shaded. Hands linked unashamed. Nights intimate. Bodies relearning solace in touches tender. You're my win, he whispered once, tracing collarbone. Always. Returned to Willow Ridge mid-July. Knee braced but spirit bolstered. Town simmered in Centennial Fair prep. Booths rising in park. Ferris will skeletal against sunsets bruised. We volunteered, painting signs under awnings sagging, laughter easing strains. Brody appeared eve of setup, Buzz cut fresh, duffel slung. Shippin' out next week. Needed goodbyes. We hugged awkward at first, then real forgiveness solidifying. Watch your back, Hunter said. And right the klutz here. He's soft. Brody chuckled, eyes serious. You too? Goals. Sorry again. For all. Fair night pulsed magic. Cotton candy dissolving sweet on tongues. Carousel chiming nostalgia. We rode Ferris top. Car swaying gentle. Town sprawled miniature below. Lights winking like confidants. Hunter's hand in mine. Thumb circling steady. This ours now. No hidin'. Kiss at apex, wind whipping. Felt conquest. But August brewed storm. Transfer news landed. Austin Junior College scouting Hunter. Art-adjacent campus where my program beckoned. Dual enrollment. We plotted over kitchen tables. Parents nodding wary approval. Packing commenced. Boxes labeled hopeful. Books, balls, brushes. Eve of departure. Betrayal revisited. Not Jax's ghost, but fresh wound. Hunter's phone buzzed dinner. Screen glowing. Sarah, his old homecoming date. Text chain unearthed in cleanup. Miss you. Still do. What we had. Heart seized. Hunter. He paled, scrolling frantic. Old. Before us. She must. But timestamps lied. Recent. Post-prom. Loneliness confessed in pixels. Drunk texts. Ignored M. Swear. Doubt flooded. Title. Ignored? Or tempted? Argument erupted. Voices rising sharp. Trust's fragility exposed. You think I'd throw us? He roared, face crumpling. After everything? I stormed out, night air choking. Walking roads graveled till feet blistered. Hours later, porch lights summoned return. Hunter waiting swing, eyes red-rimmed. Sarah cornered me at fair setup. Pity play. Deleted. Blocked. You're it, Finn. Only. Proof scrolled, screenshots, timestamps damning her, not him. Apology mine then, arms around neck, kisses contrite. Scared. Of losin'. Won't happen. Vow fervent. Ever. Dawn departure bittersweet. Truck loaded. Goodbyes tear-streaked. Willow Ridge receded mirror small. Future unfolding ribboned. Austin thrummed eclectic. Bats swirling Congress Bridge at dusk. Food trucks steaming spices foreign. We shared apartment cramped. Futon sagging. Walls bare but for my sketches pinning Hunter's sleep-soft face. Days diverged, him court-bound. Knee tested gentle. Me studio deep. Canvases blooming colors bold. Nights unified. Cooking disasters laughed over. Bodies entwined affirmation. But conflicts simmered subtle. His late practices clashing my critiques. Exhaustion fraying edges. One spat over dishes sudsy. You're drownin' in paint, Finn. When we us. Buildin' life. I countered, sponge slamming. For us. Reconcile in bed. Make up slow. Forgiveness in friction. Love language learned. Fall semester crested midterms. Stress coiling tight. Hunter's coach praised progress. Kids back. Better. But scouts circled cautious. Past plaguing. I sold first piece, local gallery. Abstract falls into flights. Check modest but milestone. Thanksgiving return home tested. Families merged awkward. Tables bridged by mom's turkey. Mrs. Kane's yams. Mr. Kane toasted gruff. To new starts. Dad's echo. And holdin' on. Hearts swelled. Winter deepened. Holidays hushed in Austin snow rare. New Year's Eve. Rooftop party thumping bass. We slipped away to balcony overlooking lights twinkling. To falls. Hunter toasted champagne fizzy. And catches. I added lips-sealing vow. But climax crested unbidden. Spring tourney invite for Hunter. Showcase against nationals. Make or break, he confided, nerves fraying. Prep consumed, dawn runs, weight sessions, leaving us ships passing. Night before flight, argument ignited. You're ghostin' me, Hunter. For what? Glory. Future. He snapped. bag half-packed. Ours. Words wounded, silence gulf. He left dawn, kiss cold on cheek. Win for us. Tournament streamed, I watched alone. Apartment echoey. Heart clenched as he shone. Points piling, knee holding. Semis glory but finals fracture. Opponent hack vicious, ankle rolling mid-drive. Screen froze on his crumple, medics swarming. Call came frantic. Broke it. Clean, but out. Flight booked instant. Hospital sterile under fluorescence. He lay pale, cast pristine, eyes lighting at my face. Knew you'd come. Always. Hand in his, monitors beeping steady. Recovery loomed long. Crutches clacking, PT grueling, but we faced tandem. Me sketching bedside, him trash-talking therapists. You're my brace now, head quip, pulling close. Betrayal's echo faded, replaced resilience. Gallery show second, sales steady, whispers of scholarships. Hunter's coach offered assistant role. Teach what you know. Heart. Acceptance bloomed mutual. Summer return Willow Ridge healed. Fairgrounds quiet, but reunions warm. Brody letter from base. Scrawl proud. Missin' y'all. Stay solid. One night, creek bank fire crackling. Hunter knelt sudden. Ring simple, silver band etched with initials intertwined. Marry me, Finn Whitaker. Falls, catches, forever. Tears yes, embrace eternal. Autumn wove gold through Austin's live oaks. Leaves drifting like confetti from a wedding yet to come. Engagements in our world weren't fanfares. No billboards or banquets, but quiet etchings. Rings glinting on fingers calloused from courts and canvases. Vows whispered over takeout tie steaming on coffee tables scarred. Hunter wore his daily, thumb-rubbing band absent during lectures. A talisman against doubts dormant. I sketched hours into portraits. His hands splayed on knee braced no more. Mine pom-pom free, holding steady. Life settled rhythmic. Mornings tangled in sheets sun-dappled. His kisses coffee bitter pulling me from dreams. Afternoons diverging, him diagramming plays for freshmen wide-eyed, voice gravel commanding respect earned. Me in studios light flooded, oils swirling emotions onto linen, galleries nibbling at edges of fame local. Evenings converged. Walks along Lady Bird Lake, bats exodus a black ribbon against dusk, hands linked discussing tomorrow's tentative. But scars suppurate subtle. Hunter's ankle twinged rainy days, ghost of that finals fall, pulling Grimace's head mask with grins. Old news, head insist, but ID catch him icing solo, jaw tight. My own clumsiness evolved. Not literal tumbles now, but stumbles emotional. Jealousy flickering when fans mobbed post-clinic, co-eds batting lashes at his easy charm. They see star, ID mutter once, post-autograph swarm. He'd cup my face, eyes storm gray anchoring. You see me, that's universe. Would reaffirm in bed, bodies eloquent where words faltered. Slow explorations mapping changes. His frame leaner from coaching cadence, mind filling with meals shared, love layering softness over bones. Winter holidays split us geographic. Willow Ridge calling with snow-rare dusting fields, families' orbits overlapping. Flight home turbulent, mirroring gut churn. Would old tensions resurface, like fault lines under polite chatter? Airport reunion eased. Hunter waiting gate. Crutch-free stride confident. Pulling me into hug airport scented. Drive familiar. Flatlands unfolding bomb. Kane's first porch swing repainted. Mrs. Kane enveloping in flower-dusted embrace. Pie cooling rack. Mr. Kane clapped Hunter's shoulder. Nod to me warmer. Drawin' steady? Good. Dinner bridged. Stories swapped. Brody's deployment tales via letters creased. Kayla's nursing internship giggles. Rings sparked questions gentle, Mrs. Kane's teary. When? Countered by Mom's practical budget first. Dad's toast over him carved. To kin, blood or chosen. Echoed ours, glasses clinking crystal. Whitaker side next. House strung lights twinkling. Parents thawed further. Mom's scrapbook swelling with our photos clipped. Dad's garage yielding reluctant proud. Son, over beers chilled. New Year's Eve blended families. Bonfire backyard canes. Stars pricking velvet. Resolutions murmured firelit. Hunter's arms circled waist. Chin on shoulder. This. Forever enough. More. I whispered, turning for kiss smoke-tinged. Spring bloomed buoyant. My exhibit solo, gallery downtown humming opening night, walls hung with series catches. Abstracts evoking falls redeemed, Hunter's form abstracted in blues and golds. He stood beaming corner, suit sharp, introducing patrons. That's my fiancé. Genius. Sales surpassed. Scholarship whispers from state uni solidifying transfer dreams. His coaching tenure bloomed too. Team undefeated streak. Freshmen dubbing him Kane the Calm. But conflict crested unannounced. Old betrayal resurrected in envelope plain. Postmarked anonymous. Inside, photos grainy. Us at Canyon years back. Kisses candid. Text screenshotted from Sarah's old play. Twisted context. Note typed. Stars fall. Keep quiet or everyone sees. Heart iced. Handed Hunter wordless. His face drained, crumpling paper fist tight. Jax. Or ghost. Doesn't matter. Police route fruitless. Prints none. Leads cold but fear coiled. Shadows lengthening familiar. Nights. Sleep evaded, his body rigid beside mine. Won't let him win, he vowed dawn, but voice cracked. I rallied resolve. Therapist sessions joint, unpacking wounds verbal, trusts fragility, town's tendrils long. We're not that boys anymore. Idea firm, hands clasped couch soft. Stronger. Gallery buzz drew press local. Article profiling Austin's rising queer artists. Our story sidebar engagements. Falls literal to metaphorical. Exposure terrified, but liberated. Comments online mixed. Slurs venomous, but allies amplifying louder. Anonymous escalated. Email to Hunter's college. See seat board. Immoral conduct. Unfit coach. Inquiry loomed. Meeting scheduled tense. Climax converged boardroom sterile. Us suited nervous. Dean spectacled presiding. Evidence presented. Photos waved dismissively. Private matters. Irrelevant. But Hunter's testimony poured. Loves who I am. With him. Makes me better coach, man. Voice steady, eyes mine anchoring. Verdict swift. Cleared. With commendation diversity. Anonymous unmasked partial. Jax's cousin. Grudge petty. Charges pending harassment. Relief flooded. But residue lingered. Vulnerability's edge sharper. We celebrated subdued. Dinner Italian candlelit. Toasts to survivals. Summer solstice brought decision. Wedding small. Fall target. Willow Ridge Chapel neutral ground. Planning danced. Invites handwritten. Vows drafted scribbled. Mine promising. Catch every fall. His rise together. But deeper conflict brewed internal. Hunter's doubt surfaced eve rehearsal dinner. Backyard canes lantern lit. What if I can't give normal? Kids? House white picket. I knelt before him grass damp. Ring glinting. Normal Smith. Ours real. Enough. Tears his kiss sealing. Wedding day dawned perfect. October sun gilding oaks. Air crisp promise. Chapel pews filled eclectic. Kalis bridesmaid gown flowing. Brodus uniform crisp furlough returned. Parents beaming front. Aisle walked solo. Hunter's waiting altar. Eyes brimming. Vows exchanged voice hitched. In falls and catches I choose you. Rings slid. Kiss sealing thunderous applause. Reception park pavilion. Tables groaning barbecue. Band twanging country laced queer anthems. Dances swirled. Hunter twirling me clumsy laughing. No tumbles now, just sway synced. Honeymoon road tripped California coast. Highway 1 winding cliffs ocean kissed. Motels quirky with neon flickering. Beaches barefoot. Waves lapping freedoms. Night's bonfire built, bodies star-silvered, love consummated endless. Return Austin evolved. Apartment upgraded loft airy, walls hung joint. My abstracts beside his framed jerseys signed. Careers crested. My first commission mural City Hall, colors bold identity. His head coaching offer high school rival, circle closed redemptive. Years layered gentle. Adoptions discuss tentative, travel stitching maps memories. New Orleans jazz-drenched, Seattle rains romantic. Willow Ridge visits ritual, elders softening further. Grandkids hypothetical drawing dad's grins rare. 1 anniversary, Canyon Overlook original. Sunset bruising skies. We renewed quiet. Still Fallon. Still catchin', he murmured, arms home. Life wove tapestry textured. Conflicts crested, but compassion crested higher. Forgiveness Brody's letters cherished. Jax's apology jail-inked, ignored but archived. Identity anchored. Freedom breathed daily in touches unapologetic. In quiet moments, sketching his profile silver-threaded, I marveled. From clumsy crashes to this, love unyielding, human raw. Message whispered wind. Be brave. Fall fearless. Someone waits, arms open. Compassion catches us all.